Signs that God is preparing a great reward for Cancer. Did you know that at this very moment, as you watch this video, a divine reward is being prepared especially for you? What if I told you that all those difficult moments you went through, all those tears you shed in silence, all those nights you took care of everyone else and forgot about yourself were not in vain? Today I will reveal to you the clear signs that God is preparing a great reward for Cancerians. And believe me, what is coming is much greater than you can imagine. Do you know that strange feeling you've been having lately? That strong intuition, that feeling that something great is about to happen in your life? That's not just your fertile imagination at work. It's the universe whispering in your ears, preparing your heart to receive blessings you didn't even know you deserved. And look, I'm not talking about empty promises or fleeting illusions. I'm talking about concrete signs, real spiritual movements happening around you right now. You, a Cancer, know better than anyone what it means to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You know what it means to give up your own dreams to fulfill the dreams of the people you love. You deeply understand the meaning of giving your whole heart, even when no one notices, even when no one appreciates it. But the time has come for you to understand a powerful spiritual truth. God sees everything. He saw every sacrifice. He counted every tear. He recorded every moment you chose love over selfishness. And now, at this special moment in your life, He is moving heaven and earth to reward you in a way that goes far beyond what you consider fair. Because when God decides to bless someone who has a heart like yours, He doesn't do things halfway. He prepares such an abundant harvest that you will hardly be able to carry so much blessing. But for you to recognize that this reward is coming, you need to learn to identify the divine signs. And that's exactly what you're going to discover here with me today. Stay until the end because the last sign will make you understand why everything in your life happened exactly the way it did. First sign. You're feeling an inexplicable peace in the midst of chaos. Let's start by talking about the first sign that God is preparing a great reward for you. And this sign is so special that many people don't realize when it appears. Have you been feeling a strange peace lately? A tranquility that makes no sense considering everything that's happening around you? Perhaps your life is still full of challenges. Perhaps you're still going through that complicated financial situation. Perhaps there are still family problems that seem unsolvable. But even so, deep down in your heart, there's a calmness that you can't explain with words. This inexplicable peace is the first gift God gives you before the great reward arrives. Do you know why? Because He needs you to be emotionally prepared to receive everything He has set aside for you. Think about it for a second. You, a Cancer, live on an emotional roller coaster. One day you're on top of the world, the next you're down here questioning everything. You feel emotions with an intensity that many people can't understand. You absorb the energy of your surroundings like a spiritual sponge. So when God is about to give you a gigantic reward, He first calms the waters within you. He quiets the storm in your heart. He brings this supernatural peace so that you can see the blessings when they begin to appear. Because if you were in that state of constant anxiety and worry, you wouldn't even notice the doors opening. You would be so focused on the problems that you would miss the solutions. The peace you're feeling has a very special quality. It doesn't come from external circumstances. It doesn't depend on everything being perfect around you. It springs from within, from a place so deep in your soul that you didn't even know existed. It's as if someone has lit a warm, soft light right in the center of your chest, and this light is radiating a feeling that everything will be all right. That you are exactly where you should be. That divine timing is perfect. Many Cancerians are feeling this right now and are even scared. Because you are so used to worrying about everything and everyone, when that worry diminishes, you think something is wrong. You start to think you're being negligent, that you should be more anxious, that you need to return to that constant state of alert. But no, this peace is exactly the opposite. It's a sign that you can finally relax because God has taken control of the situation. Do you know those moments when you wake up in the morning and instead of starting the day worried about 1,000 things, you simply feel that everything will be all right? Those days when you look at your problems and they seem smaller, more distant, less frightening? That's not luck. That's not you being naive or deluded. That's God working within you, preparing the soil of your heart to plant seeds of gigantic blessings. And there's more. This peace comes with a mental clarity you didn't have before. You start making decisions more easily. You stop dwelling on the same situations in your head for hours. You can sleep better at night because your mind has finally learned to rest. All of this is part of divine preparation. God is clearing your mind and heart of all that confusion, of all that emotional fog that prevented you from seeing the way. And look how interesting. The more you allow yourself to feel this peace, the more it grows. It's like a snowball in reverse. Instead of growing and destroying you, it grows and envelopes you in an increasingly strong spiritual protection. People around you even comment that you seem different. They say you seem lighter, more serene, more confident. And you know you didn't do anything special to achieve this. It was simply the touch of God transforming your inner self. Second sign. Toxic people and situations are naturally leaving your life. The second sign that God is preparing a great reward for you is something that may even hurt now, but that you will be grateful for later. Have you noticed that people who have always been in your life are drifting away? That old friendships are cooling off for no apparent reason? That relationships you thought were forever are ending naturally, almost without conflict? This is not loss. This is divine cleansing. God knows you can't enter the next phase of your life carrying the weight of relationships that only drain your energy. He sees what you can't see. He sees those friendships that seem genuine but are actually holding you back in the past. He identifies those people who only seek you out when they need something, but disappear when you're the one who needs support. He recognizes the emotional vampires who feed off your giving nature and never give anything back. If you're a Cancer, you have an enormous difficulty letting go of people. You cling. You create deep emotional roots. You keep people in your heart as if they were precious treasures, even when those people have already proven that they don't deserve to be there. You give second, third, 10th chances. You always think things can get better, that the person will change, that the relationship will go back to how it was before. That's why God Himself needs to do this cleansing for you. And look how wisely He does this. He doesn't create terrible fights. He doesn't cause dramatic explosions. He simply distances Himself. Conversations become less frequent. Meetings become less frequent. The connection weakens. And when you realize it, that person who was so present in your life is now practically a stranger. Does it hurt? Yes, it does. You feel like you're losing a piece of yourself. But this pain is temporary. It's necessary. It's part of the healing process. Because along with these departures, something wonderful is happening. Spaces are opening up. Vacancies are being freed up. And in those empty spaces, God will place people who truly deserve to be in your life. People who will value you. People who will genuinely support you. People who will love you the way you've always loved others. People who will add to your journey instead of just taking away from it. Think of your life as a house. For years you filled this house with all sorts of things. Old furniture that's no longer useful. Broken objects you keep out of attachment. Things other people left behind and never came back for. And now your house is so full of clutter that there's no room for new beautiful furniture to enter. God is doing a thorough cleaning. He's removing everything that's no longer useful, everything that's taking up precious space, everything that's preventing true blessings from entering. And it's not just people this is happening to. Toxic situations are also being removed from your life. That job that made you sick with stress? That oppressive environment that drained all your energy? Those places where you didn't feel good but kept going out of obligation? All of that is being pushed away. Sometimes you even wonder why certain doors are closing. You feel rejected. You think you're doing something wrong. But no, those doors are closing because better doors will open. There's a spiritual verse that says the new cannot enter while you're still clinging to the old. And God knows you have a terrible time letting go of the old. You're afraid of the unknown. You prefer to endure a known bad situation rather than risk something new that might be better. So He Himself needs to snatch the old from your hands. It seems cruel, but it's love. It's a love so great that He's willing to make you suffer a little now to give you immense joy later. If this message resonated with your zodiac sign, trust me, it's no coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal. And you're here because you needed to hear this today. Your contribution as a subscriber or member is what keeps these messages alive. Messages that touch, awaken, and transform lives. And if this video made sense to you, leave your birth date in the comments. Now let's continue with our video. Third sign. You are having vivid dreams and strong premonitions. The third sign that a great reward is being prepared for you is something that happens both when you are sleeping and when you are awake. Have you been having very vivid dreams lately? Dreams that seem so real that you wake up confused, unsure if it really happened or not. Dreams that stay in your memory all day. Unlike those normal dreams that you forget 5 minutes after waking up, pay attention to this because the spiritual world is trying to communicate with you. Cancerians have a natural connection to the world of dreams. You are governed by emotions, intuition, and sensitivity. You pick up messages that other people don't even notice. And when God wants to show you something about the future, one of the most effective ways is through your dreams. He knows that during sleep your rational mind is switched off, so spiritual messages can reach you without interference. These dreams you're having aren't random. They're showing you pieces of the future God is building for you. Sometimes you dream you're in a beautiful house, much better than the one you live in now. Other times you dream you're traveling to places you've always wanted to visit. You dream of new people entering your life. You dream of situations of abundance, plenty, and pure joy. These dreams are like trailers for the wonderful movie your life is about to become. But it's not just your nighttime dreams that are increasing. Your daytime premonitions are also getting stronger. You think of someone and they call you minutes later. You have a hunch about something and it happens exactly as you imagined. You feel you shouldn't go to a certain place and then discover it was lucky you didn't. This heightened intuition is another divine gift. God is fine-tuning your spiritual radar so you can navigate the coming months better. Do you know what happens? When a big change is coming, the universe starts preparing you in advance. It's as if it's sending you coded messages through dreams and intuition. It's showing you that you can trust your instincts. It's teaching you to differentiate the voice of anxiety from the voice of true intuition. Because when opportunities start to appear, you'll need that inner compass working perfectly to make the right choices. Many Cancerians are currently experiencing recurring dreams. The same theme appears several times, in different forms, but always conveying the same message. If this is happening to you, don't ignore it. Write down these dreams. Try to understand what they are trying to tell you, because it may be that God is alerting you to something important, preparing you for a decision you will have to make, showing you a path you haven't yet considered. And there's an important detail. These dreams usually bring a good feeling. Even if the dream's content is strange or confusing, when you wake up there's a positive feeling in your chest. It's different from nightmares that leave you distressed. These dreams leave you hopeful. They fill you with expectation. They make you wake up wanting to live the day, with the feeling that something good is coming. Premonitions also work this way. You can't explain where that certainty comes from, but you simply know. You know that job interview will go well even before you get the call. You know you'll find the solution to that problem that seemed impossible. You know that someone special is about to enter your life. And the most incredible thing is that most of the time you're right. This happens because God is giving you glimpses of His plan. He's letting you peek through the keyhole of the future. He wants you to have faith not just as an abstract concept, but as a certainty based on what He Himself has shown you. It's as if He were saying, "Look, this is what I have prepared for you. So hold on a little longer and soon you will be experiencing all of this for real." But be careful about one thing. Don't go around telling just anyone about these dreams and premonitions. You, being a Cancer, sometimes talk too much about your personal experiences. You trust everyone and think people will understand and appreciate what you're going through. But not everyone has the spiritual maturity to comprehend these things. Some people will doubt you. Others will mock you. And worse, some will project negative energy onto your visions, even unintentionally. Keep these experiences in your heart. Share them only with those few people you truly trust, those who also have a developed spiritual connection. Because these messages are sacred. They are a direct communication between you and the divine. And you need to protect them with all the care in the world. Fourth sign. You are feeling a strong desire to change habits and routines. The fourth sign is something that shakes your comfort zone, and you, as a Cancer, know how difficult it is to leave that zone. But lately you felt a strong desire to change things. You wake up wanting to reorganize the whole house. You look at your usual routine and feel that it no longer serves you. You start questioning habits you've maintained for years. You feel an inner urge asking for change, renewal, transformation. This isn't meaningless anxiety. This is God stirring within you, preparing you for the new version of your life that's coming. Because listen carefully. The person you are today isn't ready to receive the reward God has set aside for you. You need to evolve. You need to grow. You need to transform into a better version of yourself. And these changes in habits are the beginning of that process. Think about it. If you keep doing the exact same things, you'll keep getting the exact same results. If you keep thinking the same way, reacting the same way, making the same decisions, your life will stay the same. But God doesn't want your life to stay the same. He wants to take you to a completely different level. And for that to happen, you need to start acting differently. Then He places within you this desire for change. Suddenly you want to wake up earlier. You feel the urge to take better care of your body. You think about starting that activity you've always postponed. You want to learn new things. You feel the need to organize yourself better, to plan for the future, to create goals. All of this is the Holy Spirit working within you, molding you, preparing you, transforming you. And here's something interesting. You, who have always been such a homebody, so stuck in your shell, suddenly feel the urge to go out more. You want to meet new people. You want to explore different places. You want to try things that used to scare you. This is very significant because it shows that you are expanding. You are breaking down the walls of your own emotional prison. You are allowing yourself to grow. At the same time, you're also feeling the urge to distance yourself from certain things. That drink you always had no longer appeals to you. That television program you used to watch religiously now seems like a waste of time. Those empty conversations with certain people tire you quickly. You're raising your standards. You're choosing more carefully where you put your energy, your time, your attention. This change in habits also appears in the way you take care of yourself. Cancerians have the terrible habit of taking care of everyone but themselves. You spend your whole lives giving of yourselves, sacrificing yourselves, putting the needs of others before your own. But now something is changing. You are realizing that you need to put yourself first sometimes. You are understanding that taking care of yourself is not selfishness. It's a necessity. So you start doing small but powerful things. You set aside time just for yourself. You say no when before you would have said yes out of obligation. You set boundaries you never had the courage to set. You buy that thing for yourself without feeling guilty. You allow yourself to rest without thinking you're being lazy. Each of these small changes is a brick in the construction of the new life that is coming. And there's more. You feel the urge to clean, to organize, to throw things away. Not just the physical things in your house, but also the emotional things you carry. You want to make peace with the past. You want to forgive those who hurt you. You want to free yourself from resentment, bitterness, and regrets. You feel it's time to close old cycles so you can begin new ones. This need for cleansing is sacred. It's like you're tidying up the house because you know important guests are coming. In this case, the guests are the blessings God is sending. You can't receive the new while still clinging to the old. You can't enter the future carrying the weight of the past. So God gives you this inner strength to do the necessary cleaning in your life. But pay attention to one thing. These changes can't be forced just because you read here that they're important. They need to spring from within you. It needs to be a genuine desire, a true will, an internal movement that you can no longer ignore. Because if you try to change only out of obligation just because you think you should, it won't work. You'll go back to your old habits in a few days. The secret is to cooperate with what God is already doing within you. If you feel the urge to change something, change it. Don't just think about it, don't just plan it. Take the first step. Because every small change you make is a way of saying to the universe, I am ready, I am prepared. Send the blessings and I will know how to appreciate them. Fifth sign. You are going through tests and challenges that strengthen your character. Now let's talk about a sign that's somewhat contradictory, but extremely important. You expected that before a great reward, life would get easier, but the exact opposite is happening. You're going through tests. You're facing challenges that seem increasingly difficult. You're being placed in situations that demand the best of you, and this confuses you. You think, if God is preparing a reward for me, why is He allowing me to go through all this? The answer is simple yet profound. God is testing you because He needs to be sure you are ready. He needs to know that when the blessings arrive, you will have the wisdom to manage them. He needs to see if your character is strong enough to handle abundance. Because believe me, some people get lost when they receive too much. Some people are transformed when they get what they always wanted. Some people can't bear the weight of victory. So before giving you the gigantic reward He has set aside for you, God puts you in the school of life. He enrolls you in practical lessons of patience, faith, perseverance, humility, and gratitude. And these lessons are not theoretical. They are lived. They hurt. They make you cry. They make you question everything. But they also transform you in a way that nothing else could. Look at the trials you've been facing lately. Perhaps it's a test of patience. You've been waiting for something for a long time and nothing happens. You do your part, but the results don't appear. You pray, you work, you strive, but the doors remain closed. This test is teaching you to trust in divine timing. It's showing you that not everything depends on you. It's training you to wait with hope instead of waiting with despair. Or perhaps it's a test of faith. You're being placed in situations where logic says one thing but your heart says another. You're being challenged to believe in the impossible, to trust when there are no guarantees, to take steps in the dark without knowing where you're stepping. This test is strengthening your capacity to trust. It's showing you that true faith doesn't need proof. It's preparing you for the miracles that are coming. It can also be a test of generosity. Even with little, you are being led to help someone. Even going through difficulties, you feel in your heart that you need to share what you have. Even with nothing left for yourself, you find yourself donating your time, your energy, your resources. This test is proving to the universe that you deserve abundance. Because only those who are generous in scarcity deserve to receive in plenty. Or perhaps it's a test of forgiveness. That person who hurt you reappears in your life. That painful situation from the past returns to your memory. You are faced with the opportunity to hold a grudge or to release forgiveness. And God is watching what you will choose. Because He knows that if you cannot forgive, you are not free. And if you are not free, you cannot fly high enough to reach the blessings that are in the highest places. There's also the test of humility. Perhaps you're going through humiliating situations. Perhaps you have to ask for help when you've always been the one who helped. Perhaps you have to accept no when you've always been the one who gave. Perhaps you have to swallow your pride and admit that you can't do everything alone. This is hard for you who always wanted to be strong for everyone. But it's necessary. Because pride prevents blessings from flowing. Each of these tests has a specific purpose. They are not happening to destroy you. They are happening to build you up, to strengthen you, to prepare you. Think of it this way. If an athlete wants to win the gold medal, he needs to train hard. If a student wants to pass the most important test of his life, he needs to study intensely. If you want to receive the greatest reward God can give you, you need to pass the tests that qualify you for it. And you know what's most beautiful? You're getting through it. Even with fear, you're facing it. Even with pain, you're growing. Even with doubts, you're moving forward. You didn't give up when you could have given up. You didn't surrender when you had every excuse in the world to surrender. You kept walking even when you couldn't see the way. That's proof of strength. That's proof of character. That's proof that you deserve everything that's coming. So when the next challenge appears, instead of complaining, try to see it from a different perspective. Ask yourself, what is this challenge trying to teach me? What part of me needs to grow through this difficulty? How can I emerge from this situation better than I entered it? Because when you change the way you look at problems, problems start working in your favor instead of against you. Sixth sign. You are receiving unexpected help from unusual places. The sixth sign that God is preparing a great reward for you is when help begins to arrive from the most unlikely places. You are going through a problem, and suddenly someone you barely know offers exactly the solution you needed. You are having financial difficulties, and out of nowhere an opportunity appears that you weren't even looking for. You need something specific, and coincidentally someone has it to spare and wants to give it to you. These are not coincidences. Coincidence is just a nice name people use when they don't want to admit they are seeing the hand of God at work. When you are being prepared for a great reward, the entire universe conspires in your favor. People you never imagined become divine instruments to help you. Situations align in an almost magical way. Doors open where you only saw walls. Notice how this has been happening in your life recently. That distant acquaintance who pointed you towards an incredible opportunity. That stranger on the bus who said exactly what you needed to hear that day. That person you helped years ago who has now returned to reciprocate in a way you never expected. That family member you don't even have much contact with, but who showed up at the right time with the right help. God works through people. He uses human mouths to speak His words. He uses human hands to perform His miracles. He uses human hearts to demonstrate His love. And when He decides to bless someone, He mobilizes an invisible army of helpers. He touches the hearts of people who don't even know they are being used as divine instruments. He orchestrates encounters that seem casual but were planned down to the smallest detail in the spiritual realm. And it's not just material help you're receiving. There's also the emotional support that arrives during the darkest hours. That tight hug when you needed it most. That caring message that arrived at the exact moment you were thinking of giving up. That unexpected call from someone you didn't even remember existed, but who filled you with joy. That word of encouragement spoken by someone who barely knows you, but who struck a chord in your heart. You as a Cancer are usually the one who takes care of everyone. You're the shoulder to cry on. You're the person everyone turns to when they need help. You're used to giving, giving. But now God is teaching you to receive as well. He's showing you that you don't have to carry everything alone. He's proving to you that when you allow others to help you, you're giving them the opportunity to be a blessing too. And that's difficult for you, isn't it? You pride yourself on being strong. You don't like to show vulnerability. You think asking for help is a sign of weakness. So when someone offers help, you immediately say, "No need, I'll manage." You reject what's being offered because you don't want to be a burden to anyone. But by doing that, you're blocking the flow of blessings that God is trying to send you through these people. Learn to accept help with gratitude. When someone offers you something, there's no need to think, "Oh no, you don't need to do that, don't worry, I don't want to bother you." Simply say, "Thank you very much. I accept and thank you from the bottom of my heart." That's it. Simple as that. Because when you accept help with humility and gratitude, you are honoring both the person who is helping you and the God who sent that person to you. There's another important detail in this sign. Help often comes from people you've helped in the past without expecting anything in return. Remember that time you reached out to someone in need? Remember that moment when you did good just for the sake of it, without thinking about receiving anything back? Well, all of that is being multiplied and returned to you now. Because when you plant kindness, you reap kindness. When you sow love, you reap love. The law of the harvest never fails. And the more you notice these helps arriving, the more attentive you need to be. Because sometimes help comes disguised. Sometimes it doesn't seem like a blessing at first glance. Sometimes you even turn up your nose because it wasn't quite what you wanted. But God knows better than you what you really need. So He sends exactly what will do you the most good, even if it's not exactly what you asked for. So keep your eyes open. Pay attention to the people who cross your path. Listen carefully to what they have to say. Seriously consider the opportunities that arise, even if they seem small or strange. Because it may be that in that casual conversation, in that simple suggestion, in that seemingly insignificant help, lies the key that will open the door to the great reward that awaits you. 7th sign. You are rediscovering talents and passions you had forgotten. The 7th sign is beautiful because it speaks of rediscovery, of reconnecting with parts of yourself that have been dormant for a long time. Have you recently felt a desire to return to things you loved but abandoned? That hobby that made you happy but that you stopped doing due to lack of time? That talent you had but never took seriously? That old dream you shelved because practical life demanded other priorities? This is happening because God is reconnecting you with the essence of who you truly are. For years you adapted. You molded yourself to fit the expectations of others. You put aside what made you unique in order to fulfill the roles that society expected of you. You became a father, mother, son, employee, and in the midst of so much responsibility you forgot to simply be yourself. But the time has come to reclaim that. Because the reward God is preparing has to do with you living in the fullness of who you are. It has to do with you using the gifts that were placed within you from birth. It has to do with you finally doing what you were created to do. And you can't do that if you continue to deny important parts of yourself. Then suddenly you find yourself thinking about that painting you used to do, that music you used to play, that sport you used to practice, that writing you used to produce, that manual work that relaxed you. And it's not just a fleeting memory. It's a strong calling. It's a magnetic attraction. It's as if that activity is pulling you back to it. And do you know why? Because that talent, that passion, that gift may be exactly the channel through which your greatest blessings will arrive. It may be that God wants to use you precisely in that area that you have always enjoyed but never valued. It may be that what you have always done for free, just for pleasure, is exactly what will bring you prosperity. It may be that your life's purpose is hidden precisely in what brings you joy. You, a Cancer, possess immense creativity. You have artistic sensitivity. You have the ability to create beauty, to transform emotions into something concrete. But you probably never gave it the value it deserved. You thought art was for irresponsible people. You thought creativity was a luxury, not a necessity. You relegated your creative talents to the background because you needed to be practical, realistic, and responsible. But what if I told you that you can be all of that and still honor your gifts? What if I told you that your passions are not a waste of time, but an essential part of who you are? What if you understood that when you deny your talents, you are denying a part of God's plan for your life? Because He didn't put those gifts inside you for nothing. Every talent has a purpose. Every skill has a function in the grand design of your existence. So when that urge to reclaim something arises, don't ignore it. Don't say, "Oh, that's nonsense, I'm too old for that, my time has passed." It's never past time. As long as you're alive and breathing, it's time to be who you truly are. As long as your heart is beating, it's time to do what makes you happy. As long as you still have time on this earth, it's time to use the gifts God has given you. Start slowly. You don't need to drop everything and become a professional artist overnight. Just set aside a few minutes of your day to do what you love. Pick up that dusty guitar and play a few notes. Grab that empty notebook and write a few lines. Take that paint you've been saving and paint some shapes. Plant that seed you bought but never planted. Cook that special recipe you haven't made in years. And observe what happens. Observe how your mood improves. Observe how you feel more alive. Observe how new ideas begin to emerge. Observe how opportunities related to that begin to appear out of nowhere. It's as if the universe is waiting for that sign that you're ready to be yourself again. And as soon as you give that sign, the doors begin to open. Some people will find it strange. Some people will ask why you're wasting your time on this. Some people will say you should focus on more important things. Don't pay attention. These people don't understand. They live disconnected from themselves and want you to live disconnected too. But you're on a different path now. You're rediscovering who you are. You're preparing for the abundant life that's coming. And to live that life fully, you need to be whole, you need to be complete, you need to be yourself without shame and without fear. 8th sign. You are feeling deep gratitude even for small things. The 8th sign has to do with a change in your heart that is subtle but incredibly powerful. Have you noticed that you are more grateful lately? That you are noticing small things that previously went unnoticed? That you are giving thanks for details that you always had but never appreciated? This growing gratitude is not accidental. It is one of the clearest signs that you are entering a new vibrational frequency, a new spiritual dimension. Because you see, gratitude is the key that opens the doors to abundance. The more grateful you are for what you have, the more things appear for you to be thankful for. The more you recognize present blessings, the more future blessings are released. It's an infallible spiritual law. God pours abundance upon those who know how to value what they have already received. He multiplies in the hands of those who demonstrate gratitude. So when you begin to feel this deep sense of gratitude effortlessly welling up within you, it's a sign that your heart is being prepared to receive much more. It's as if God is testing you. Are you able to be grateful for the little things before I give you the big things? Can you see the small blessings before I release the great blessings? And when you show that yes, that you know how to be grateful, the floodgates of heaven begin to open. Notice how this has been happening to you. You wake up in the morning and instead of complaining about having to work, you are grateful for having a job. You look at the simple food on your table and instead of complaining about the lack of variety, you are grateful for having something to eat. You see your modest home and instead of envying the larger houses, you are grateful for having a roof over your head. You look at the people around you and instead of focusing on their flaws, you are grateful for their presence. This shift in perspective is revolutionary, because for a long time you lived focused on what was missing. You looked at your life and only saw the holes, only the absences, only the lacks. You compared your reality to the reality of others and felt bad. You measured your worth by what you hadn't yet achieved. But now something has changed. You are learning to see the glass half full instead of half empty. And don't think this is complacency. It's not. You still have dreams. You still want to grow. You still want to improve your life. But now you do it from a place of gratitude, not from a place of lack. You are no longer chasing things because you feel something is missing in you. You are attracting things because you recognize that you are already blessed and are open to being even more blessed. Gratitude is also changing your relationships. You are more patient with people. You are valuing small gestures more. You are noticing demonstrations of love that you previously ignored. That quick hug from your mother. That sincere good morning from a colleague. That smile from a child on the street. That simple message from a friend. All of this, which was once insignificant, now fills your heart with an inexplicable joy. And there's more. You're even grateful for the difficulties. Yes, you read that right. You're starting to see that those problems that made you suffer also taught you something. Those pains you went through also strengthened you. Those losses you experienced also opened up space for greater gains. You're understanding that nothing was in vain, that everything had a purpose, that each experience brought you to where you are today. This gratitude for difficulties is an advanced level of spiritual maturity. Many people are able to be grateful for the good things. But to be grateful for the bad things? Only those who truly understand how the game of life works can do that. Because when you are grateful for the pain, you take away its power over you. When you are grateful for the lesson, you don't need to repeat the experience. When you are grateful for the desert, you are ready to enter the promised land. So cultivate that gratitude. Make it a daily habit. Every day before going to sleep, think of at least 3 things you are grateful for that day. They can be big or small things. It could be the air you breathe, the water you drank, the bed you're going to lie in. It could be a good conversation you had, a problem you solved, a song that moved you. The important thing is to keep your heart in a constant state of gratitude. Because when you live in gratitude, you become a magnet for blessings. Good things are simply attracted to you. The right people appear in your path. Opportunities arise out of nowhere. Miracles become commonplace. Because the universe responds to the frequency you emit. And the frequency of gratitude is one of the highest that exists. It is the frequency of abundance, joy, and fulfillment. It is the frequency where miracles happen naturally. 9th sign. You are losing your fear of starting over and trying again. The 9th sign shows a profound change in your courage. You who have always been so afraid of making mistakes, so afraid of failing, so afraid of disappointing, are suddenly feeling a new boldness within you. You are willing to try what previously paralyzed you. You are ready to take steps that just a few months ago you didn't even consider. You are losing the fear of starting over, of reinventing yourself, of taking risks. This is extremely significant because it shows that your faith is growing more than your fear. And when faith overcomes fear, you become unstoppable. Nothing can hold you back anymore. No insecurity can restrain you. You understood that the greatest risk is not trying and failing, but rather never trying and always wondering what it would have been like if you had had the courage. Think about how many times you stopped yourself from doing something because you were afraid of what people would think. How many times did you swallow your dreams because you were afraid of not being good enough? How many times were you paralyzed because the fear of failure was greater than the desire for victory? You as a Cancer carry an enormous fear of exposing yourself, of being judged, of not being accepted. So you always preferred to stay in your shell, in your safe corner, instead of taking risks out there. But now something has changed. You're tired of living small. You're tired of denying your dreams. You're tired of letting fear make decisions for you. And from within you, a courage you didn't even know you had is sprouting. An inner voice is saying, "Enough, now it's my turn, now I'm going to try no matter what happens, at least I'll know I gave it my best." The courage that is being born within you was planted by God. He is preparing you for the challenges that come with blessings. Because yes, blessings also bring challenges. When you receive more, you need to manage more. When you level up, the problems level up too. When you enter new territories, you face new situations. And for all of this, you need courage. So God is taking the fear away from you now. He is replacing insecurity with confidence. He is exchanging shyness for boldness. He is transforming the fearful into the courageous. Because the version of you that will live the abundant life that is coming needs to be a fearless version, needs to be a version that is not afraid to shine, needs to be a version that no longer hides. And look how interesting. This new feeling of courage is not arrogance. It's not presumption. It's not irresponsibility. It's wise courage. It's calculated boldness. It's a willingness to take risks but with your feet on the ground. You're not becoming a reckless person who does crazy things without thinking. You're becoming a balanced person who knows the difference between legitimate fear and illusory fear. You are learning to distinguish between the fear that protects you and the fear that paralyzes you. There is a healthy fear that prevents you from doing dangerous things. But there is also a morbid fear that prevents you from growing, evolving, and reaching your potential. And you are becoming an expert at recognizing which is which. So you respect healthy fear but face paralyzing fear head-on. This willingness to start over is crucial. Because maybe you tried something in the past and it didn't work out. Maybe you started that business that failed. Maybe you got into that relationship that ended badly. Maybe you invested in that idea that didn't take off. And those painful experiences left you afraid to try again. You were left with that mark, that emotional scar that hurts every time you think about taking another risk. But now you understand that those failures don't define you. Those bad experiences were just chapters in your story, not the whole story. You are bigger than your mistakes. You are stronger than your falls. And every time you got up after falling, you proved to the universe that you deserve a new chance, that you deserve a bigger opportunity, that you deserve that giant reward that is being prepared. So when that new opportunity arises, don't let fear hold you back. When that invitation to something different comes along, don't let insecurity paralyze you. When you feel that inner calling to do something bold, don't let the negative voices convince you to give up before you even begin. Because this time it's different. This time you are more prepared. This time you have God's hand guiding you. This time it will work out. 10th sign. You are seeing repeating numbers and constant synchronicities. The 10th sign is one that many people think is crazy, but it's actually one of the clearest ways the universe is communicating with you. Have you been constantly seeing repeating numbers? Do you look at the clock and it's always 11 and 11, 2 and 22, 3 and 33? Do you see car license plates with repeating numbers? Do you notice these numerical patterns in unusual places? This isn't paranoia. These are angelic messages, divine signs confirming that you're on the right path. Each number has a spiritual meaning. When you see repeated numbers, it's as if the universe is nudging you, calling your attention, telling you, "Look, I'm here, I'm watching you, I'm taking care of you." Angels use numbers because it's a universal language. It's something you can't ignore. It's something that repeats itself until you pay attention. But it's not just numbers. It's synchronicities of all kinds. You think of someone and they appear or call you. You need to know something and someone brings up that exact subject without you having mentioned it. You have a question and the answer appears in a song you hear randomly, on a billboard you pass, in a conversation you overhear by chance. Coincidences that are too many coincidences to be just coincidences. These synchronicities are proof that a higher intelligence is orchestrating your life. They are evidence that you are not alone. They are confirmations that there is a greater plan unfolding, and you are an important part of that plan. Each synchronicity is God winking at you. The universe giving you a smile, life showing you that magic is happening behind the scenes. You, being a Cancer, are naturally attuned to these things. You are sensitive. You pick up on energies. You perceive patterns. So for you, these signs are even more frequent and clearer. The problem is that you sometimes doubt yourself. You think you're imagining things, that you're seeing things where there's nothing, that you're giving too much importance to unimportant things. But no, trust your intuition. It's not deceiving you. When you start paying attention to these synchronicities, they increase. It's as if the universe realizes you're finally listening and decides to speak even more. The signs become more frequent, more obvious, more impossible to ignore. And this creates an increasingly strong connection between you and the divine. You begin to live in constant conversation with God, where He speaks through signs and you respond through your actions. There's a particularly important type of synchronicity you need to observe. Those situations where you were thinking about doing something and suddenly 3 confirmations appear in a row. For example, you're considering changing jobs and then you hear 3 different people talking about career changes on the same day. Or you're thinking about taking a course and then you see advertisements for that course in 3 different places. That's the universe shouting, "Go for it, do it, this is the right time." Pay attention to the music that plays at the right moments. You turn on the radio and that specific song is playing, the one that speaks exactly to what you're going through. You walk into a store and the background music seems to have been chosen especially for you. The lyrics speak directly to your heart. The message is crystal clear. Don't dismiss it as luck. It's divine guidance reaching you through art. And don't ignore the dreams you've been having, especially those dreams that connect with real situations that happen later. You dream about a person and they appear. You dream about a place and someone invites you to go there. You dream about a situation and it happens days later. These prophetic dreams are open windows to the future that God is building for you. They are previews of the movie of your life that is about to premiere. The key to making good use of these signs is to keep an open heart and an attentive mind. You don't need to be obsessed with looking for signs in everything, but you also can't be so distracted that you miss the clear messages being sent. It's a delicate balance. It's about being present in the moment, being aware of what's around you, being receptive to the possibilities of the sacred manifesting in everyday life. And when you receive these signs, give thanks. Say, "Thank you for showing me that you are with me. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for confirming that I am on the right path." This simple act of gratitude further strengthens the connection. It opens the channel of communication. It invites more signs to arrive. Because God loves to speak to those who know how to listen. 11th sign. You are being led towards detachment from material and emotional things. The 11th sign may seem contradictory, but it is essential. While God prepares material blessings for you, He is also teaching you not to be a slave to material things. Have you felt a need to simplify your life? A desire to get rid of things you've accumulated but no longer use? A wish to clean, organize, and declutter? This is not just a phase of physical cleansing. It is a profound spiritual transformation. God needs you to understand a fundamental truth. Things don't define you. What you have is not who you are. Your house, your car, your clothes, your possessions, none of that is your essence. You are much more than what you own. And as long as you believe that your value lies in your possessions, you are not ready to receive true abundance. Because true abundance comes from within, not from without. So He is training you in detachment. He is showing you that you can be happy with less. That you can live well in a simpler way. That you don't need 1,000 things to feel complete. This training is necessary because when material blessings arrive, you cannot let them dominate you. You need to own things, not be a slave to them. And it's not just material detachment. It's emotional detachment too. You're learning to let go of people who are no longer part of your journey. You're learning to release grudges you've carried for years. You're learning to let go of resentments, frustrations, and disappointments. You're doing a deep cleaning not only of your closet, but also of your heart. This process of letting go releases tremendous energy. Everything you release is a weight off your shoulders. Every attachment you break is one less chain binding you. You will feel lighter, freer, more relaxed. And the lighter you become, the higher you can fly. The freer you are, the farther you can go. You, as a Cancer, have a strong tendency towards attachment. You cling to people, memories, objects, situations. You keep everything. Old letters, gifts from past relationships, clothes that no longer fit, broken things you promised to fix but never do. You live in the past through these objects. You keep people in your life out of obligation, guilt, or fear of hurting them. But this holds you back. It prevents you from moving forward. So when this wave of letting go comes, don't resist. Embrace it. Take advantage of this moment of courage to do the cleaning you've been putting off for years. Donate those clothes you no longer wear. Throw away those old papers that only take up space. Let go of that person who clearly no longer wants to be in your life. Forgive that person who hurt you and whom you still hold a grudge against. Release, let go, let it go. And notice what happens when you do this. Notice how much better you breathe. How much better you sleep. How refreshed you feel. It's like you've taken off tight clothes and put on something comfortable. It's like you've dropped a heavy suitcase you've been carrying for miles. The relief is immediate and profound. But there's a difficult part to this process. Sometimes letting go hurts. Sometimes you'll cry when you're giving away something that has sentimental value. Sometimes you'll feel immense sadness when you're letting go of that person. Sometimes you'll question whether you're doing the right thing. But keep going. Because on the other side of this pain there's a freedom you can't even imagine. There's a lightness you deserve to feel. There's an empty space that will soon be filled with much better things. Letting go also teaches you trust. When you release something without any guarantee of what will come next, you are saying to the universe, I trust that you will take care of me. I trust that something better is coming. I trust that I will not remain in emptiness forever. And this demonstration of faith is rewarded. Always. Every time you release something with faith, God gives you something better in return. It may not be immediate, but it comes. And it comes in double. So continue this process. Keep cleaning, organizing, letting go, detaching. Do this consciously, intentionally, with gratitude for what you have had and with expectation for what is to come. Because each thing you let go of is making room for the blessings that God is preparing for you. And these blessings are so great that they wouldn't fit into your life the way it was before. That's why He needs to make space. And He does this through detachment. If this message resonated with your zodiac sign, trust me, it's no coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal. And you're here because you needed to hear this today. Your contribution as a subscriber or member is what keeps these messages alive. Messages that touch, awaken, and transform lives. And if this video made sense to you, leave your birth date in the comments. So that's it, my dear Cancerian. We've reached the end of this video, but not the end of your journey. In fact, you're only at the beginning of something grand. All these signs I've shared with you aren't just coincidences or empty wishful thinking. They are real, concrete evidence that God is weaving a beautiful tapestry with the threads of your life. Each difficulty you face was a necessary dark thread to create contrast. Each joy was a colorful thread that brought beauty. And now the design is almost ready to be revealed. You need to understand something very important. This reward that is coming is not luck. It's not chance. It's not because you won the spiritual lottery of life. It's because you deserved it. It's because you passed the tests. It's because you kept a good heart even when the world gave you reasons to harden. It's because you continued to love even when you were hurt. It's because you persisted even when it would have been easier to give up. All of this was seen, noted, and valued up there. And now it's harvest time. It's time to receive. It's time to finally experience that abundant life you've always dreamed of, but that seems so distant. But remember, with great blessings come great responsibilities. When you receive all that is being prepared for you, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget the people who helped you along the way. Don't forget the difficult moments that shaped you. And above all, don't forget to be a blessing to others in the same way you have been blessed. Because the purpose of blessings isn't just to make you happy. It's to empower you to make others happy too. God blesses you so that you can be a channel of blessings. He gives you abundance so that you can share abundance. He fills you so that you can overflow to others. So when good things start to happen, and they will, keep your heart generous. Continue being that loving, caring, protective Cancerian you've always been. Only now with more resources to care, with more conditions to protect, with more possibilities to love. I want you to do something for me right now. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. And visualize the life you want. See it in detail. The house where you want to live. The people you want to be with. The job you want to do. The peace you want to feel. The joy you want to experience. Feel it in your heart as if it were already real. Because in the spiritual world, it already is. In the divine plane, it already exists. Now it just needs to manifest in the material plane. And for that to happen, you need to be aligned, you need to be prepared, you need to be in tune with that frequency. And you are. All these signs you've been noticing confirm it. You're on the right path. You're on the right frequency. You're on the right timing. It may seem like it's taking a long time. You may be tired of waiting. But trust, God's timing is perfect. He is never late. He is never early. He always arrives at the exact moment. And when the blessings arrive, you will look back and understand why you had to wait. You will see that if you had received them sooner, you wouldn't be ready. But now you are. So keep the faith. Keep the hope. Keep your heart open and your eyes attentive. Continue doing your part. Keep working, keep striving, keep being a good person. But do all this with lightness now. Do it knowing that you are not alone in this battle. Do it trusting that invisible forces are working in your favor. Do it believing that the best is yet to come. And when everything finally unfolds, when you're living that life that only exists in your dreams today, remember this moment. Remember this video. Remember these signs. And give thanks. Give thanks for every step of the journey. Give thanks for the tears that strengthened you. Give thanks for the dark nights that taught you to value the light. Give thanks for everything that brought you here. If you've made it to the end of this video, that's no coincidence either. Of the thousands of people who started watching, you were one of those who persevered until the end. That says a lot about you. Says you're persistent. Says you go all the way. Says that when you start something, you finish it. And those are exactly the qualities you'll need to receive and keep the blessings that are coming. Now I want to ask you something. If this message touched your heart, if you felt it was made especially for you, leave your birthday in the comments. I want to know who the special Cancerians watching this video are. I want to connect with you. I want to know that this message reached where it was meant to reach. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and activate the notification bell. Because I will continue bringing content like this. I will continue bringing messages of hope, faith, and spiritual guidance for you. And if you are able and feel in your heart that you want to support this work, consider becoming a channel member. Your contribution, however small, helps keep this channel alive, helps bring these messages to more people who need to hear them, and helps create more content that can transform lives. You are not obligated to do anything. But if you feel you want to be part of this chain of good, we will be very grateful. I believe in you, Cancer. I believe in the strength that exists within you. I believe in the sensitivity that is your gift. I believe in the love you carry in your heart. And I believe that you will receive everything you deserve and more. Because God is generous. He doesn't just give what is necessary. He gives abundantly. He gives overflowing. He gives more than you can imagine or ask for. So prepare your heart. Prepare your life. Prepare your space. Because the reward is coming. And it's bigger, much bigger than you think. May God continue to bless you. May the angels continue to protect you. May the universe continue to conspire in your favor. And may you have the wisdom to recognize, the courage to accept, and the gratitude to value each blessing that comes your way. Your time has come. You can celebrate. You can smile. You can have hope. Because the best of your life begins now. A huge hug to your heart. Until the next video. Be at peace.